It's easy to think your greatest obstacles are out there, in the noisy chaos of the world. That you're blocked by other people's opinions, by the system, by bad timing. That your talent is simply unrecognized. But what if none of those were the real problem? In Ego is the Enemy, Ryan Holiday delivers a sharp wake-up call. The fiercest battle you'll ever fight is with yourself. Not with your critics, not with competitors, but with that inner voice that constantly demands to be seen, to be applauded, to be obeyed. This is the ego, and it's insidious. It disguises itself as confidence, but it's actually fragile pride. It pushes you to chase approval, to overreach, to ignore reality. And worst of all, it stops you from learning, from listening, from growing. This isn't a book about staying small. It's about staying sane. It's about cultivating ambition that's rooted, not reckless. Let's dive into 5 life-shifting lessons from Holiday's Modern Stoic Manual, and how you can apply them before ego derails your vision. We often think ego only strikes the arrogant, the show-offs, the self-obsessed. But ego is a shapeshifter. It adapts to wherever you are in life. In the aspiration phase, ego whispers, "You're destined. You're better. You deserve this now." It tricks you into thinking you've already earned success just because you want it. You start skipping the hard parts, rejecting humility, and dreaming bigger than your discipline can support. In the success phase, it changes tone. It shouts, "You did this alone. You don't need advice. You've arrived." Now you become less open, less coachable. You stop studying. You stop listening. You begin defending your reputation more than improving your craft. And in failure, ego screams the loudest, "This is unfair. This is beneath you. Blame others." You deny your part in the loss. You protect your pride at the cost of truth, and that keeps you stuck. Holiday's point is simple but sobering. Ego isn't a temporary phase. It's a constant internal threat. And if you don't manage it, if you don't name it, it will sabotage you in silence, without you even realizing it. The antidote? Self-awareness. Honest reflection. A commitment to humility, no matter your current chapter. Today, we're taught to shout our dreams from rooftops, to manifest, to build a brand before we build any substance. But Holiday offers an ancient, counter-cultural wisdom. Be humble in your aspirations. Not passive, not timid, just grounded. That means being a student before you try to become a star. It means taking the time to observe, to learn the system, to watch how great people move. It means understanding that ambition without humility is a dangerous cocktail. One that burns fast but rarely lasts. Think of Leonardo da Vinci, a man whose journals are filled not with boasts, but with questions. Or young athletes who spend hours watching film, not just highlights. They don't need to be seen. They need to improve. Quiet ambition is more durable, because it's fueled by growth, not attention. And when your ego isn't busy performing, your energy is free to go deep, into mastery, into service, into results. So instead of asking, "How can I be known?" ask, "What can I still learn?" This might be the most brutal ego check in the entire book. Stop announcing. Start doing. It's seductive to talk about your big plans. To post about the journey before it's begun. To let the dopamine rush of likes replace the deeper satisfaction of real progress. But Holiday reminds us, ego loves to perform. To be seen as great before doing anything great. The Stoics had a different view. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In other words, let your actions speak. Let your projects breathe. Let your habits, not your hashtags, define you. There's power in the quiet grind. In the late nights no one claps for. In the unrewarded preparation. While others are broadcasting, you're building. This doesn't mean you never share. It means you share after the doing, not before. You trade performance for production. And that swap alone can separate the mediocre from the masterful. What happens when someone critiques your work? Do you listen or flinch? Holiday says, ego makes us brittle. It turns feedback into an insult. It filters everything through a fragile identity, where any correction feels like an attack. But the most dangerous thing about ego isn't that it feels pain, it's that it shuts down growth. You stop reading the room. You stop hearing what your mentors are saying. You stop making hard but necessary changes. And eventually, your blind spots become landmines. To grow, you must become feedback-proof, not by avoiding criticism, but by welcoming it. That means becoming curious instead of defensive. It means asking for hard truths from people you trust. It means thanking the person who points out what's not working because they just gave you a mirror, a gift, a chance to get better. As Holiday puts it, wisdom doesn't seek to be right, it seeks to be effective. Perhaps the most powerful recurring theme in Ego is the Enemy is this: never stop learning, no matter how far you rise, no matter how much you earn, no matter how many awards sit on your shelf, stay a student. Holiday tells the story of John Wooden, the legendary UCLA coach, who, despite being a basketball genius, never stopped reading, refining, rethinking. That was his edge. Not what he knew, but what he was still willing to learn. Ego wants to graduate. It says, you've arrived. You know enough. Others should be learning from you now. But the truth? The moment you stop being a student, you start declining. Ask yourself, when was the last time you asked a dumb question on purpose, or read something that challenged your views? Or let someone younger, less experienced, teach you something new? Humility keeps your mind open. And an open mind is a magnet for wisdom. Ego is the enemy isn't about becoming invisible. It's about becoming invincible, not through control or status, but through clarity. It's about living with purpose without performing, working in silence, learning in public, growing without needing credit. When you starve ego, what you feed instead is presence, discipline, mastery, and a deep satisfaction that doesn't need a spotlight. So if you're feeling stuck, bitter, impatient, or exhausted, ask yourself, is this really the world's fault? Or is it ego's echo bouncing around in your mind? Because when you remove ego from the equation, you're free to build, free to serve, free to evolve. If this video helped you quiet that noisy inner critic, subscribe. In our next episode, we'll explore The War of Art by Steven Pressfield and how to break through resistance and finally do the work that matters most